Welcome to TechCast by Raqmedia.com, your quick stop for the latest tech news, smart hacks, and cutting-edge updates. Stay informed, stay ahead. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to Raqmedia TechCast, your one daily stop for all the latest tech news and trends. You know, we always try to bring you the most interesting deep dives into the tech world, and today is no exception. We're going to be looking at something that impacts pretty much all of us, those add to cart buttons. Ever wonder what's going on behind the scenes to make you click buy now? We're talking about e-commerce sales strategies.
And there's a lot more to it than you might think. It's not just about putting products online and hoping people buy them. There's a whole science behind it.
Exactly. And to help us break it all down, we've got an e-commerce expert here with us today.
Happy to be here.
So let's just jump right in. First up, we've got upselling.
Yes. Upselling. The art of suggesting a slightly better product.
So you're telling me there's a strategy behind those you might also like sections? I thought those were just random.
Oh no. Definitely not random. Let's say you're looking at a new laptop. You found a decent model. Basic features, gets the job done, and then you see a little suggestion pop up. Hey, for just a little bit more, you could get this other model. Double the RAM, a much faster processor. That is upselling in action.
So it's about getting you to spend a little bit more, but are they really suggesting something better or just something more expensive?
That's the key. It has to be a genuine upgrade, something that actually provides more value to the customer. Think about it. You end up with a product that better suits your needs, and you walk away feeling like you made a smart decision.
Okay, I'm starting to see how it can benefit both the customer and the business.
Exactly. It's a win-win. In fact, studies have shown that effective upselling can increase the average order value by up to 30%.
Wow, 30%. That's huge.
It is, and it shows that customers are finding real value in those upgraded options.
So who's doing this really well? Any companies come to mind?
Oh, Amazon is the king of upselling. Have you ever noticed those customers who bought this also bought that recommendations?
Oh yeah, all the time.
A lot of times. Those are strategically placed upsells. They're not just random suggestions. They're tailored to your purchase. And often, they're those slightly more expensive items that complement what you're already buying.
Okay, so like if I'm buying a pair of running shoes, they might suggest some premium insoles.
Exactly. Or maybe some high-tech moisture-wicking socks. Things you might not have even thought of, but that enhance your overall experience.
Like they're reading my mind. And my wallet.
Well, they are using sophisticated algorithms to analyze your behavior and predict your needs.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
And a little bit scary. But hey, if it helps me find products I'll actually use, I'm not complaining. Now, let's move on to a strategy that sounds a little counterintuitive. Downselling.
Yes. Downselling. The art of offering a less expensive alternative.
Okay. Why would a business want to do that? Wouldn't they want to encourage customers to spend more?
It might seem counterintuitive, but it's all about reducing cart abandonment.
Cart abandonment?
Yeah. You know, when you add things to your cart online, but then you don't actually buy them.
Oh yeah. I've definitely done that.
It happens to the best of us, in fact. Studies have shown that nearly 70% of online shoppers abandon their carts without completing a purchase.
70%? That's a lot of lost sales.
It is, and that's where downselling comes in. By offering a more affordable alternative, businesses can capture some of those lost sales.
So it's like a safety net.
Yeah.
For those shoppers who get sticker shock right before checkout.
Exactly. Imagine you're shopping for a new mattress online. You found the perfect one, all the bells and whistles, but then you see the price tag, and you hesitate. Just as you're about to close the tab, the website offers you a similar mattress, maybe with slightly fewer features, but at a much more affordable price.
Interesting. So you're not getting everything you wanted,
Wow.
but you're still getting a quality product that fits your budget.
Precisely, and the business still makes a sale.
Okay. I could see how that would be beneficial.
The key is to frame the downsell option positively. It's not about pushing a cheap product. It's about emphasizing the value of this alternative.
So it's still a great option. It just happens to be easier on the wallet.
Exactly.
Now, for our listeners who are loving this deep dive so far and want to learn more about the world of e-commerce, where can they go?
Well, I would definitely recommend checking out Raqmedia.com.
Of course.
They've got tons of articles, case studies, and even some free tools to help businesses grow their online presence.
It's an amazing resource. I highly recommend it. Okay, let's move on to our third strategy, cross-selling.
Yes. Cross-selling, the art of suggesting complementary products.
This one seems pretty straightforward.
It is. but it can be just as powerful as upselling and downselling. Think about buying a camera online, and then the site suggests extra lenses, a carrying case, or even a tripod. Those are all cross-selling opportunities.
So it's about anticipating the customer's needs and offering products that enhance their initial purchase.
Exactly. It's all about creating a more complete and satisfying experience.
Okay, I like it. But how do businesses know which products to cross-sell? It seems like it would take a lot of data analysis.
It does, and that's where things get really interesting. E-commerce platforms are using sophisticated algorithms to track buying patterns and predict future purchases.
So they're using data to personalize those recommendations.
Exactly. For example, if data shows that customers often buy yoga mats with water bottles, those items will be displayed together as a suggestion.
That makes sense.
It's all about using data to create those relevant connections.
I've definitely seen that frequently bought together feature on Amazon.
It's a classic example of cross-selling in action.
It's almost like they're reading my mind.
Well, they are using sophisticated technology to understand your needs and preferences.
It's both impressive and a little creepy.
I know, but it's the future of e-commerce.
All right, so we've covered the basics of these three strategies: upselling, downselling, and cross-selling. But now, let's dive a little deeper. How do businesses actually craft effective upsell strategies? What are the key things to keep in mind?
Well, it all starts with understanding your customer. You can't just randomly suggest a more expensive version of everything. You need to identify the right products for upselling. And that starts with understanding your customer's needs and intentions.
So, more data analysis.
Always. Data is king in e-commerce. Dive deep into your sales data. Look for trends. Which products are frequently upgraded? Which products are often purchased together? That information will give you valuable insights into what your customers are looking for.
Okay, so you've identified the right products. What's next?
Timing. Timing is everything. You don't want to overwhelm customers with upsells the moment they land on your site. You need to find the right moment in their journey, a moment when they're already engaged and receptive.
Okay, so when is that magical moment?
Think about it. The customer has already browsed your site, they've chosen a product, they've added it to their cart, they're committed, they're excited, and they're already envisioning themselves using this product. Where does that happen? Exactly. Checkout is the perfect time to suggest a slightly more premium option that enhances their purchase.
It's like the cherry on top of the shopping sundae.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, let's shift gears and talk about downselling. How do you offer that more affordable alternative without making the customer feel like they're settling?
That's a great question. And it all comes down to framing. You're not emphasizing what the customer is missing by choosing the less expensive option. You're highlighting the value they're still getting.
Okay, so instead of saying, here's a cheaper jacket.
Exactly. You might say, this jacket is a fantastic option for casual outings and offers exceptional value for the price.
It's subtle, but I can see how it would make a difference.
It's all about psychology.
Fascinating. Any other tips for making downselling a win-win?
Just like with upselling, data is crucial. You need to track your conversion rates on downsell offers. Are customers actually clicking that buy now button on the less expensive option? If not, it might be time to tweak your approach.
So it's about constant optimization, using data to fine-tune your strategy.
Exactly.
If our listeners are starting to feel a little overwhelmed by all this data talk, where can they go for help?
Well, Raqmedia.com is a fantastic resource. They offer tools, insights, and even personalized consultations to help businesses make sense of their data.
They really are the e-commerce experts.
They are.
Okay. Let's wrap up our strategy discussion with some tips on mastering cross-selling. What are your top recommendations for creating those irresistible, you might also like suggestions?
One highly effective tactic is creating bundles or package deals. Think about offering a digital camera bundle that includes memory cards and a carrying case, all at a slightly discounted price.
So it's like creating the ultimate starter kit.
Exactly. It's convenient for the customer. And it increases the average order value for the business.
Win-win.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see how these strategies can get pretty complex.
They can. But luckily, there are tools that can help.
Whoa.
Yeah. E-commerce platforms like Shopify Plus and WooCommerce offer tools that can automate these recommendations based on user behavior.
So it's like having a virtual sales assistant.
Exactly. Working behind the scenes to suggest the right products at the right time.
That's amazing.
It is.
Even with all this automation, I imagine it's still important for businesses to stay involved in the process.
Absolutely. You still need to set clear goals and parameters. What are your key performance indicators? What types of products do you want to prioritize? What kind of customer experience are you aiming for? Once you've defined those things, you can fine-tune these platforms to work in alignment with your vision.
So it's about using technology as a tool, not a crutch.
Exactly.
We've talked a lot about the technical side of things, but I want to circle back to the customer experience. How can businesses make sure that these strategies, particularly upselling and downselling, don't come across as pushy or manipulative?
That's a great question. And it all comes down to authenticity and transparency. Customers can smell a hard sell a mile away. So if your recommendations feel forced or irrelevant, they'll backfire.
So it's about being genuine and making sure your suggestions are actually helpful. Are there any companies that you think are particularly good at this?
Amazon is a great example. They've built an empire on understanding customer needs and providing personalized recommendations that genuinely feel helpful.
I have to agree. I've definitely bought things from Amazon that I didn't even know I needed.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, but one final question. We've talked about how these strategies can boost sales and improve customer experience. But is there a risk of overdoing it? Could these tactics, if used too aggressively, actually backfire?
Absolutely. There's a fine line between helpful suggestions and aggressive pushing. If a customer feels bombarded with irrelevant upsells or pressured into buying things they don't need, it can damage trust and lead to a negative brand experience.
So how do businesses strike that balance? How do they know when they've crossed the line?
That's where testing and data analysis come in again. You need to constantly experiment, track your results, and see what resonates with your audience.
So it's a constant process of optimization.
It is.
Always evolving, just like the world of e-commerce itself.
Well,
I think this is a great place to pause for today.
agreed.
We've covered a lot of ground, and I'm sure our listeners are eager to digest all this information. But before we go, any final words of wisdom for our audience?
Just remember, the customer should always be at the heart of your strategy. These techniques are not about tricking people into spending more money. They're about creating a more personalized and satisfying shopping experience.
Great advice. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this e-commerce adventure. Be sure to check out Raqmedia.com for more insights and resources. And we'll be back soon with part 2 of this deep dive, where we'll explore even more strategies for boosting your online sales.
Looking forward to it.
See you then.
Absolutely. There's a risk of going overboard. You have to remember that these strategies are tools. And like any tool, they can be misused.
So how do businesses make sure they're using these strategies effectively without alienating their customers?
It goes back to what we were talking about earlier, data analysis.
And
the testing.
Always back to the data.
It's the foundation of any successful e-commerce strategy. You need to constantly track your results, see what's working and what's not.
So if you're seeing a lot of cart abandonment after implementing an upsell or cross-sell offer, that's a sign that something needs to change.
Exactly. It could be the product you're suggesting, the timing of the offer, or even the way you're presenting it.
Okay, so it's about being flexible.
Absolutely. The world of e-commerce is constantly changing, and consumer behavior is evolving all the time.
So you need to be able to adapt.
Exactly. You can't just set it and forget it.
Now, let's talk about some specific examples. How are companies using these strategies in the real world?
Let's start with upselling. One of my favorite examples is from Apple. When you're buying a new iPhone, they always offer you the option to upgrade to a model with more storage.
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen that.
It's a classic upsell, and it's incredibly effective because people are often willing to pay a little bit more for the peace of mind of having extra storage space.
Makes sense, especially since you can't really upgrade the storage on an iPhone later.
Exactly. It's a one-time decision.
Okay. What about downselling? Any good examples there?
Sure. Streaming services like Netflix and Spotify are great examples. They offer a variety of subscription plans at different price points. So if someone is hesitant to commit to the most expensive plan, they can always choose a more affordable option.
That's smart. Gives customers more flexibility.
And it helps to reduce churn.
Churn?
Yeah, when people cancel their subscriptions.
I got it. Okay. What about cross-selling? What are some companies doing well in that area?
Amazon is the master of cross-selling. They're always suggesting products that are related to what you're viewing or buying.
It's true. I can never resist those frequently bought together recommendations.
They're very effective. And it's not just about increasing sales, it's also about providing a more convenient and enjoyable shopping experience for customers.
So It's about making it easier for people to find what they need.
Exactly, and to discover new products that they might not have even known existed.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. These strategies aren't just about making more money, they're also about improving the customer experience.
Exactly. When done right, they can benefit both the business and the customer.
Now, for our listeners who are eager to implement these strategies in their own businesses, where can they go for more information?
Well, Raqmedia.com is a fantastic resource. They have a ton of articles, case studies, and even some free tools to help businesses get started.
I'll second that.
They're a great resource for all things e-commerce.
Okay. I think we've covered a lot of ground today. But we've only scratched the surface of this topic.
Sure.
There's so much more to learn about the psychology of online shopping and the strategies that businesses are using to influence our buying decisions.
It's a fascinating field.
It is, and we'll continue to explore it in more depth in our next episode. But for now, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back soon with part 3 of this deep dive, where we'll discuss even more advanced e-commerce sales strategies.
Looking forward to it.
Stay tuned.
We're back, ready to dive into some more advanced strategies.
You bet. I'm excited to learn how businesses can really fine-tune these tactics to create a truly personalized shopping experience.
Well, one key concept here is customer segmentation.
Segmentation?
Yeah, it's about dividing your customer base into smaller groups based on shared characteristics like demographics, buying behavior, or even their interests.
So instead of treating all customers the same, you're creating these targeted groups to tailor your approach.
Exactly. That way you can offer recommendations that are more likely to resonate with each specific group. For example, if you're a clothing retailer, you might segment your customers by style preferences: casual wear, formal wear, athletic wear.
So you're not suggesting a business suit to someone who only buys workout gear.
Exactly. It's all about making sure your upsells and cross-sells feel relevant and personalized.
It's like creating a more curated experience for each customer.
That's a great way to put it. It's about understanding their needs and preferences.
Okay, so customer segmentation helps us make those recommendations more targeted. What are some other ways businesses can create that personalized shopping experience?
Well, think about the timing of those recommendations. Nobody wants to be bombarded with upsells the second they land on your website.
Yeah, that would be overwhelming.
It's about finding those natural moments in the customer journey where those suggestions feel helpful and welcome.
So like during checkout, when they've already decided to buy something.
Exactly. Or maybe when they're browsing a specific product category. The key is to make sure those recommendations feel like a natural extension of their shopping experience, not an interruption.
Okay, so it's not just about what you're recommending, but when and how you're presenting it.
Precisely. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're providing valuable suggestions without feeling pushy.
Now, for our listeners who are ready to put all of this into practice, are there any tools or resources that can help?
Absolutely. A lot of e-commerce platforms offer features that can automate some of this process.
Automate?
Yeah, you can set up rules based on customer behavior, so those recommendations are triggered automatically.
So like if someone buys a certain product, they'll automatically be shown suggestions for related items.
Exactly. It takes some of the guesswork out of the equation.
That sounds incredibly helpful. Any particular platforms that you recommend?
Shopify and WooCommerce both have great options for this type of automation.
And of course, our listeners can always find more information and resources at Raqmedia.com.
Absolutely. They've got everything you need to master these strategies.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. Any final thoughts you'd like to leave our listeners with?
Just remember, these e-commerce strategies are powerful tools, but they need to be used thoughtfully. Always keep the customer experience in mind and focus on building trust and loyalty.
Great advice. It's not just about making a quick sale, it's about creating lasting relationships with your customers.
Exactly.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into e-commerce sales strategies. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to the Raqmedia TechCast. This episode was written by Ezzedine Yahawi. Don't forget to subscribe on Spotify for more fascinating deep dives into the world of tech. See you next time.